This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
It's great that you could join us on We Connect. Welcome to the show. We're very privileged to have as our guest today on this program, Padma Shri Dr. Vijayanthi BALI, surely one of our country's dance icons. Thank you so much for having us here. We appreciate very much your time. You still continue to be involved with dance in a major way, so this passion never dies.
I don't think it will ever die as long as I live. Because I'm into it so much, and it's been my, ever since I was a child, and my upbringing has been such that there was so much of, chanting of the shlokas and the chiming of bells, and the temple was just where I was born. So the temple was just the Parthasarathi Swami temple in Thiruvallikeni. That's where I was born. And so I think even the walls would be, so much echoing with that kind of a spiritual fervor. And dancing, my grandmother always said that I was born with dancing toes. So
Twinkling toes they call you, right?
Yes.
Twinkling toes.
My grandmother was my absolute, my everything to me. And my training in dance, and she even wanted me to study in a convent because education was very important for her. And nobody was, went to school rather, because coming from a conservative family. And so she wanted her grandchild to be educated, and that too in a convent. And she was ever so proud when I got into the Presentation Convent Church Park. And then of course dancing side by side was very, very important. She wanted me to be a very fine Bharatanatyam dancer.
Indeed, that's what you turned out to be. And would you say that when you look back, you actually justified your grandmother's pride in you, Mrs. Bali?
Yeah, she was very happy, when people liked my dance, and they wanted my performances, and here, and I traveled with my performances, and she was very happy. But she always made me feel that there was always room at the top, and that there was way to improve and develop. And it was not a sort of a full stop anywhere, it was just a comma. Yeah, keep on, yes, you have to learn more, you have to get into that more, and dedicate yourself more, and get into that passion, and
Right. So now after all these years, you still continue in dancing, you do choreography of your own shows, and you also still dance on very special occasions. What are those specific occasions when you decide that Vijayanthi BALI will get out onto that stage? What determines that?
Actually, when I dance for festivals here in India and abroad, and the importance that is very, which I hold dearly, is to see that my audience, they get elevated. And with my dance, if I can, sort of take them up to a spiritual, to a higher level, I think I have achieved something somewhere. And not to sort of stoop and to cater to them, or to make them feel that it's a kind of an entertainment, because our art has never been entertainment. It's always been, associated with divinity. And the art comes from the gods themselves. It's right from our Hindu mythology. And all the gods and goddesses danced. And when we perform, the dances all are in praise of the deities, or in praise of, and there are all moods, all variations, all depictions. And we try to project, I try to project all the relevant, the roles that I play. In my thematic presentations, of course, I bring in the stories, and mostly they are solo performances. Otherwise, I do solo margam, which is the traditional format of the Bharatanatyam performance. And I have been very fortunate to have great gurus, coming from the line of the Tanjore Quartet, the illustrious brothers, way back in the 17th, 18th century, And that parampara, that tradition, that line, their stamp is there. And
you've carried it on, haven't you?
And that is the style, the Bani as we call it, and that is the style which I still follow. And there is a lot of appreciation because there is so much of tradition and classicism in that. The purity of form, the purity of line, the purity of gestures, even the very stance, it has its own dignity, it has its own, the whole, it's not that I am performing, it's my art that performs. So it's not when Vijayanthi Mala, when they ask me to dance, it's not that Vijayanthi Mala as a performer, as an artist, it's not me. I put myself behind. It's my art that I project.
Right. But Mrs. Bali, when you dance overseas and when you dance in India, is there a difference at all between the two types of audiences that you encounter? Or do you find that people are as understanding of your art overseas as they are here?
Well, I can tell you that when I have danced abroad, I have had wonderful audiences, and asking me if they didn't know, they would ask me, what was that? What did you mean by this? And you showed your hand, this and that. They would like to know. They showed so much of interest, wanting to know. And they would be all, because everything used to be given to them beforehand, They knew what they were coming and they were going to watch. And so they knew thoroughly what they wanted to, when they came to watch me. And I think the people all over abroad, I found them much more interested, much more wanting to know and gain knowledge. And of course, here our people are knowledgeable and they've seen the art, there's so much of exposure, and but still the response that whenever I danced abroad was something really unique. I enjoyed dancing to the Western audiences. Right. And also one thing, they also knew and how to discriminate what was classical, pure, and this doesn't seem very traditional. They were able to say that.
So they are very knowledgeable indeed.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Right.
Yes.
We're going to take a very short break, and when I come back, there's a lot more to ask you about, and especially about those twinkling eyes of yours. We'll take a very short break here and reconnect and get right back with you.